will to be done in our lives. My name is Sherry LaVon Harris, and I'm the host of His Will for Your Life podcast. This podcast is a safe and non-invasive place for others to be authentically themselves, unashamed, while receiving the healing, deliverance, and balance they need to become whole and effective service in the kingdom. Now join us for our live broadcast. Good evening, and welcome to another episode of His Will for Your Life. I'm your host, Sherry LaVon Harris, and we are in for a treat with our panel discussion. We're on part 2 of Purposeful Intentions. Exploring the concept of purposeful intentions can provide insightful perspectives into individuals' motives and goals. Please stay tuned, like, tag, and share, and we'll be right back.
His Will for Your Life with Sherry Harris. This is your weekly Wednesday 7 p.m. podcast. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Jeremiah 29:11. Informative, hot topics, testimony, interviews, along with your weekly guests and more. And now here's your host, Sherry Harris.
Happy Sunday, everyone, and welcome back to His Will for Your Life. How you guys doing?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm sleepy, tired. And I rushed to eat real quick before going on, but we're all right, right?
Oh, good. How y'all doing?
We'll keep you awake.
We are in part 2 of Purposeful Intentions. We had such a good time the first time that it spilled over and we didn't have enough time, so we're going to do it today. So we're going to give you guys an opportunity to reintroduce yourselves and also introduce yourselves to those who may not know you. Daryl, since you're at the top.
Hey, the cream always rises to the top. Hey, y'all, it's me, Daryl. Jesus' favorite. Born into this world by way of Columbus, Georgia, from heaven. I love being here. Love my family. Love my children. Love my dogs. Love all things Georgia except tech. I love being saved. I love having grace. I love having mercy because I use every bit of it every chance I get. And just here. Love just want to have fun. Let's do it.
All right. Nancy.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Nancy Smith. I reside in Montgomery, Alabama, because I moved here to be a full-time caregiver for my father. I love God, and I teach. I'm a musician. I sing, I minister, and I'm just grateful to be here today. I'm pressing today, but I'm glad to be here.
We're glad you're here.
Amen.
JR.
JR.
Ray.
My name is not JR, but it's Ray, and I'm coming to you by
That's Ray.
Kansas City, Missouri. Glad to be here. Glad to be amongst good people, and let's get this show going.
Great. Apostle Michelle.
Michelle Miller. I'm a friend of His Will for Your Life and a great supporter of His Will for Your Life. I'm happy to be here to talk. I like talking about real things. I like talking about real things that the church oftentimes doesn't want to bring up. And I'm all about helping people. Everybody needs a hand. Everybody needs wisdom. Everybody needs grace. So I love the topics. I love to talk about real things. So I'm ready.
Awesome. Awesome. And so anytime you call him anything other than Rave, you put a title. So that's why. I don't know what's going on with the service tonight, but anyway, we're gonna go right into it.
They didn't need to hear that, so that's why.
All right, just right. Yeah. So I was trying to wait for Apostle Thomas, but he's not here yet. So we're gonna go right in. What do you guys think of purposeful intentions?
I wasn't on the first one, so I'm here on a wing and a prayer.
So what does it mean when you hear purposeful intentions?
Come on, Apostle Michelle. We did that. We told ours already.
Okay. Purposeful intentions, positive or negative, is something that you do on purpose intentionally. It's not something, I would say it's something that you thought about. It's something that you have counted the cost for. It's something that you have weighed the consequences for. And good or bad, you intend to do what you do on purpose.
Hey, well, pretty much
Well,
it. Yeah.
that about sums it up.
Yeah, pretty much it.
Oh gosh, that was funny, but that was good.
And I mean good or bad.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
Negative.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it is true. And so this is going to be for everyone because even though you're married, Apostle Michelle, it's not just for dating or romantic relationships, but it's for personal relationships as well. So what does having a purposeful intention mean to you in the context of a romantic relationship?
Oh, right, because I'm already married.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. Let's hear it.
Get me.
Yeah, we're looking at you.
We're looking at you.
Glory.
How is he Shalom and he's supposed to be on? Where are you?
Listen, you should have known it was coming. You should have known he was going to try something. Okay. I would say for in relationships, whether friendships, whether covenant relationships, because really our relationships should be covenant. I really believe that a purposeful intention speaks to how I'm going to respect and honor the friendship, the relationship. You just don't, certain things you just don't do unless you really care for and love somebody. When you care for and love somebody, you want them in your life, you want to be in theirs. You're careful. You're careful, you're intentional. You don't want to hurt them. You don't want to treat them less than they deserve. It's very intentional. And it's focused. And you have to, I'm not saying work hard at it, because some things should flow naturally when they're intended. But I still think there's work in being purposeful and showing and demonstrating how you feel about that person. Whether it's like my best friends, you know what I'm saying, my colleagues, my husband, I want them to know how I intentionally feel about them, how I intentionally respect them, how I intentionally honor them, that I intentionally don't want to hurt you, that I intentionally don't want to offend you. The relationship is how I feel about the relationship should be demonstrated in my actions in the relationship. That to me is the purpose and the intention, to demonstrate the love of Yeshua through my life to my relationships.
Yeah, so I think about that in terms of my two sons. And, you know, for me, everything I do with them, for them is purposeful, right? First of all, to let them know that, hey, they have a father. Hey, you know, even though me and their mom, we're divorced, that I'm still going to be here. I am still involved in everything that you do. I am not going anywhere. If you want me and you're not physically with me, you always know when, where, how to get a hold of me, right? So that's purposeful. There is nothing wishy-washy about it, nothing frivolous about it. It's very focused. It's very, again, using the word intentional, everything about it. And I let them know that, right? Let them know, hey, I'm not going to sit by here and watch you fail. Hey, I'm not going to sit by here and watch you in a funk, right? But I'm going to talk with you. I'm going to laugh with you. I'm going to play around with you. We're going to have funny conversation. We're going to have serious conversations, right? And so let them know. And so there is a purpose and a drive toward that to let them know that that they are important to me through and through.
Awesome. Anyone else?
I'm going to answer it from the romantic thing that you said, and I might add something else to it as I talk. But I'm showing up my authentic self. I'm showing up real, because I don't want you to be blinded by whatever it is that attracted you to me. I want you to know who I really am. I don't want to show up later on as somebody else. And I would rather you do the same thing with me. I don't want to meet your representative. I don't want you to put on any airs for me. I'm not going to order salad and water because I'm a foodie. I like to eat. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to chew in front of you. You know what I mean? And then you find out later that that's not who that person is. I'm showing up for you. And if I let it into other relationships like friendships, I'm there for you. When things go wrong, because no relationship is perfect, when they go awry, I'm showing up to fix it. I'm not just going to walk away. If it's my fault, I'm not going to hide from you. I'm not going to stop talking to you. I'm not going to stop showing up for the relationship that I committed myself to. And I, in turn, want that same thing for me. I want somebody to treat me, God have mercy, the way I pride myself, because it takes a long time to get here.
Yes.
I've been through relationships. They made me, they broke me, they made me happy. They made me sad. They depressed me. They put me in a state that I never thought I would be in. But when I came out of those ashes, I came up smarter. I came up wiser. So what a man will get in me right now is the real deal. And sometimes we have to blow our own trumpet because they look at the outer, or they look at what they think you are. Social media is not even real. It's what I choose to share with you. It's not the total sum of my life. You know what I mean? It just isn't. So if I met someone right now, they'd have to deal with the fact that I'm in one of the hardest points of my life, and y'all know what it is that I do, and where it's gone and what's going on. But that doesn't change who I am, the good that's in me. Can you rock with me?
Yes.
Right.
Can you really rock with me? Because I'm gonna leave it right there. Yeah,
Because what you're giving is real. What you're giving is real.
Yeah. Now, if you want something superficial, if you want something that's not, if you gotta go by what you see and not what I'm gonna tell you what, this is what's going on right now in my life. Can you handle that? And it doesn't change the person. Some people, even friends don't really want to be. I got some friends right now, because of where I am, they don't really want to be bothered with me, because most people like you when you're on the mountain. They don't want to fool with you when you're in the valley.
Come on now.
So I need some valley people in my life. If you just showing up when I'm on the mountaintop, you're not real. I can't trust you.
And they don't understand the purpose of the valley, because in every elevation, there's a valley. That doesn't mean you're lower than because you're in the valley. The valley is the undercurrent to coming back up to another mountain. Listen.
Yes.
Don't get me
And do you know what I'm going to be after this? You're lost.
Y'all came out the gate.
My gosh.
Ray, we might well just be quiet this episode.
I told you she was full. I told you she was overflowing.
This should have been an all women's panel.
I know, right?
No. You guys are good.
Come on, Daryl.
Who's coming after that?
I don't disagree with y'all. I agree with everything y'all are saying because I mean, like Ray said, with my son, he's 8, but I want him to know that I'm intentionally being his dad. I sent him a text just the other day. Hey, I'm proud of you. I'm happy to be your father. Even in love relationships, I want people to know, hey, this is my real right now. This is my life. So I want you to see all of this because 30 days from now, 60 days from now, 90 days from now, you can't say that you didn't know. I told
That's
you all
right.
this up front. It's purposeful. It's intentional for a reason because it's going to weed out who belongs there and who doesn't belong there. So, and sometimes you may have people in your life that have been there from the beginning, but their season may be up. And everybody has to be okay with that. So if you can't fit my purpose or my intentions anymore, hey, no love lost. We'll see each other on the other side if that's possible. So I agree with you guys. You guys said it all, especially Nancy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing. We don't want to let people go. We think we have to hold on. We think
Nah.
that letting go is some shortcoming on our behalf. No, sometimes letting go, releasing, and saying "see ya, sayonara, bye-bye"
Right.
is
I
peace.
have the gift of goodbyes.
Gift of divine.
I mean, if we're using the word, Abraham didn't want to let his nephew Lot go. It was just time for them to go.
Yeah.
The people that was employed by them were all beefing with one another, and all this carrying on. They had to say, okay, you know what, bro? You know what, Unc? Hey, we're getting a little bit too big over here. I appreciate everything you did. I appreciate everything that you brought me to this point right here. But I think, hey, maybe we need to go our separate ways
He
because
had to
it's
stretch.
only going to get worse. It's only going to
Right.
get worse if we don't do something about it now.
Yeah. And it's okay.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
it is.
We still talk about a lot to this day based on those things. A lot of people you can't even remember who they are in the Bible. So I mean, it is what it is.
Right. Ray.
Yes, ma'am. No, you was giving that serious look, like right. No, I was gonna say, as we're being open and transparent, I know first of all, my circle that I keep of close people is really small, right? I don't have a big circle of people, really small, and so for me, I know we're talking about sometimes, I have a issue letting some people go. Not everybody, but some people go, and I don't know, because when I'm holding on to you, if I'm telling you that I'm your friend, I'm going to be there for you. I want to be there for you through the highs, the lows, the everything. And
Right.
so for me, I know there are times that I have an issue with letting that go, letting something go. And I know I should, but for me, I know that's a bit of a struggle for me, right? Because I've talked to somebody and say, hey, I'm going to be here with you through this with you. And so I don't always know when to say that season is over
Yeah.
and it's time to get moving. So for me, there are times I hang on, probably like you said, like Abraham probably hung on to a lot longer than he should have, right?
Right.
So
Right.
I know that's a weakness of mine, if you will, where, just don't know when it really is that time to say, time to go your separate ways.
My therapist told me that too. Because I remember we were having this conversation, and because I was like, okay, well, Miss Caroline, maybe I'm just choosing the wrong women. She was like, Don, Darryl, you're not choosing the wrong women. She's like, you really you're holding on to people longer than you should hold on to people. Like certain things you have to say to yourself, and like Ray, it's a struggle. I'm not gonna lie. I hold on to people for whatever reason. I don't know why. Whether it's never a bad intention or a bad reason. It's just holding on to people just because. And I don't know if I've never really been alone in my life. That could be it. I'm not really sure. But yes, I have had the issue of holding on to people far too long and way longer than I should have. So I'm with you on that one, Ray.
When I don't, trying to find a way to put this, because when I'm listening to you guys and I've heard other people say, I probably held on longer than I should. Not everybody has the capacity of strong love. I'll say that.
Yeah.
When we are built to love and care for some of us is just stronger in than others, if that makes sense. I would say this to both of you. Father, point me in the direction where the strength of my love is wanted, desired. Because when we start trying to change how we're made, it shifts other things. Now, you're made to love strong. You know, a friend of mine always says when she leaves my presence or anybody's presence, she says, I love you strong. That's how she says goodbye. I love you strong. And I'm just like, some people have the capacity to love stronger, more responsibly, more authentically than others. You just have to wait for the right one who can come in to receive it, to embrace it. Does that make sense? That don't pull back your makeup because people don't appreciate it or understand it.
Well, I feel like I have strong love. I love very hard, but I also want to love smart. You know, because I haven't always loved smart. You know, I've seen the signs, but I thought I could fix it. I thought I could change it. I thought I could make it. I thought I could mold it, but I couldn't. So yeah, you want somebody that's going to accept this love, but you also, I tell my girls all the time, love smart. You saw that. You saw that. You saw that joker. You saw the sign. And sometimes we have to give ourselves 50% of what we know we saw and decided to get deeper. Because when you know, when you get deeper, you start doing this. You know, and that's what causes, you know, one of my longest relationships should not have been as long as it was. And for the last certain amount of years, that's how I need to say it for me, it wasn't what it was. I just didn't have the vocals to say, this is over. You know what I mean? And that is because I believe way back then, I wasn't really in love with Nancy. I didn't know how to love myself. But when I fell in love with me,
come on,
I still can love you hard, but I'm going to love you smart too. I'm not going to ignore what says to me, you are not him.
From a distance,
You're not here from a distance. Yeah, you're not him.
I think let's
take a break for a minute. Just hold on for a minute, just to welcome Apostle Thomas on and give him an opportunity to jump in our conversation. So the question,
he should have been on time. No, he should have been on time.
All right.
We all should be on time. I agree.
He should have been on time. That's his fault.
I was trying to save you. Can you share an experience in a relationship where having a clear intention significantly impacted the outcome?
Yeah, I mean, hearing everything that everybody has said, I agree. You know, we show up strong. We show up with intention, you know, never to harm or to hurt. And I think as Nancy was saying, and others were saying, I think when we are fixers, it's hard to let go because it almost feels like we failed in fixing them.
Right.
So we don't want to see them in that spot. We see better in them. We know that they can be better. So we want to get them to that place. And sometimes we will hold on to things that we really need to say, you're not ready for this. You're not ready for me.
Yeah.
And you're not ready for what I see in you. So I'm going to go over here and, you know, keep my life together before my life becomes in shambles because I'm trying to fix you. I don't want to lose me in trying to fix you.
Yes.
Right. So
that's good.
That's good.
That's good.
How do you, and this is for all of you, how do you set and prioritize your intentions in your dating life? So what do you determine what is important in your romantic pursuits?
Say that one more time.
How do you set and prioritize your intentions in your dating life?
Oh, for me personally, I don't pursue what I don't like. I don't pursue what I'm not attracted to. I don't pursue what I feel is going to be a problem going forward. I let people, if I see something far from a distance, I be like, oh, that ain't for me. I'm out of here. I don't put myself in a position to try to get anybody to change anything about themselves. If I know I don't like it, I wouldn't want it. I wouldn't want nobody to do it for me. So as much as I can see from the beginning, I let it be what it is. I don't. No, I learned that over the years. I ain't trying to force nobody to conform to anything that I have going on. Either you got it already or you don't. Simple as that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Anyone else?
Sherry, can you repeat the question again? I'm looking. I thought you said one word. Just let me hear it again.
Yes, ma'am. How do you set and prioritize your intentions in your dating life? And so I did give like a part two is determine what is important in your romantic pursuits.
Well, I would have to say what's important is that we are on the same page. Number one for me would be that he has to love God. He has to know God. He has to have some leadership qualities because I'm tired. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yes.
really, I need somebody that shows up. I don't need to, I'm going to let you be the man. I don't need to usurp your authority. You don't have to be intimidated by my strength because, life has made me like this. It doesn't mean that I'm not soft. It doesn't mean I'm not feminine. But you need to love God because if you don't love him or know him or have a relationship with him, you can't have one with me. I mean, you're not even going to know how to love me right if you don't love God. And so that's a prerequisite. If I were dating, one of my male friends told me yesterday, it's tragic that you are single. I said, oh, no, it's not tragic. Because I'm not jaded. A lot of people think I'm jaded. I'm not. I'm just hidden because things keep coming up
Right.
that I have to keep looking after everybody in my family. And so I just need I need a conversationalist. I don't want to carry all the conversation. I don't want to get on the phone and hear air. I need
Oh boy.
somebody that's not a texter. I'm not going to
Yes.
have a text station with you. A lot of men, all they want to do is text you. I want
Yes.
to have a conversation. I need somebody that can laugh
Mm-hmm.
because if I don't laugh, I'm in here every day by myself and I have
Mm-hmm.
to find something to laugh about so I won't go under because this ain't easy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Heavy
Right.
So
man.
it's those things that you look for, and it gets deeper. But and you use the word pursuing. That's what I would look for.
Okay. Great.
So somebody, Ness, you walking heavy. God, dog, that must be a Georgia thing because I feel the same way you feel. Don't listen. Don't call me and just sit on the telephone. I could be doing other stuff. I could be watching YouTube. I could be listening to music. Yet I'm using my data with you. I need I need for you to say something. Don't just be sitting there
Yeah,
holding up time
yeah.
and be
Let's
able
have
to
a
have a conversation.
conversation.
Like you said, I don't want to do all the lifting. Back already big
Yeah.
enough. I want to carry you, and I'm like, man, this conversation heavy. I got to carry you and me in this conversation. No,
Yeah. It's too much.
that's too much. No, and I'm not
It's
gonna
too
text
much.
you because I'm driving. So find
Right.
something else to
Right.
do.
Right. I
I think
dated a trucker once before, Daryl. I dated a trucker, and it was one of the best relationships I ever had.
I bet it
He was
no.
was.
he was amazing, and I don't know if it was because he was a trucker, but he was an amazing guy. He turned out to be very, very, very insecure. And the
Mm-hmm.
night before I was to go to minister in Italy, he asked me not to go.
Let me tell y'all a secret about truck drivers. Let me tell y'all about a secret about truck drivers and relationships. I want y'all to lean in close. Every relationship a truck driver is in is a long distance relationship. So, and people have to understand that if you're not at home every day, every one of your relationships in your life is a long distance relationship.
Everyone.
Whether it be your spouse, your children, whomever, whatever relationship you're in is going to be a long distance relationship. So you have to be secure within yourself, and you got to be secure in God in order for you to have a successful relationship. That's just a little
Yeah,
tidbit. So
yeah, he
Yeah.
wasn't secure, but we had a
yeah,
great. My point in even saying it was, I just remember the amazing conversations that we had in
he had
person
he
and
had
when
number
he was
time
on the
on his
road.
hand, Nancy. He had
No, no,
number
no, no,
time on
no.
his
Because I
hand.
knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that. But no, 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 no. No, because he was the same way in person. Because we slow walked it.
Right.
We started this way, then we started this way, and then it took a while for me to even let him hear my voice. Because I wasn't sure if I wanted to be in a long distance relationship with somebody that was so isolated.
Right.
But and so anyway, a lot of good things happened, but it ended. But those things, those qualities, that back and forth, really haven't. I knew you were going to say that, Daryl. I knew it.
I know us, Nancy. I've been doing it almost 22 years. I know us. He honed that skill on that telephone, Nancy.
Well, he may have, but
He
he
did.
still knew how to hold a conversation.
Right.
That's the point.
Right.
Yeah,
Sorry about that little
meaningful.
side note, Pastor Sherry. This is your thing, so
No,
my
no,
bad.
that's okay. That's okay. This is good.
Nancy, we could talk
We're
on the Daryl
sorry.
show about this.
Okay.
Too much.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Who else is next? What are some of the long-term intentions you have for your relationships, and how do you align them? No, oh goodness, what are we talking about? I forgot.
That's
That's what you
Daryl's fault.
said.
Purposeful intention part 2.
Right.
I don't even know. So we're gonna
Yeah.
move on.
Y'all, please offer Pastor Sherry some grace. She got no equipment.
We are.
I have a lot to do back
Yes.
here. Multitasking.
She got
Multitasking.
to get
got
used
you.
to her new setup. So give her a little time.
Hush your fuss, Daryl.
And congratulations on your new setup.
All right. So the question was, how do you set up and prioritize your intentions in your dating life?
So I was gonna say, I think the older we get, we know what fits us
Right.
right off the bat. We
Mhm.
we already know what fits us. We know what are the potential issues that are fixable, and we know what may not be fixable or changeable, right? So there's some things that I will not budge on. These are non-negotiables. It has to be like this. Then there's some things where it's like, there's really no set standard per se. And we just see if it fits. If it fits, let's slow walk. I believe in that term. Let's slow walk this, right? We're not jumping into an immediate relationship. We're not going to start off with that 2-hour conversation. You know how
No.
people start off with that 2-hour conversation, that 3-hour conversation, and then when because that's not real, right? That's not going to be sustainable. So when it gets down to like 30 minutes, oh, you don't have time for me anymore. You don't love me. It's not that. What we started
Ooh,
off
that's a
with.
good point.
Yeah. Nope. I will intentionally say, okay, I got to go because I don't want you to have the expectation of a 2-hour or 3-hour phone call
Every
every day.
time.
That's not real. That's
New
not
Thomas
Edition
said,
said
find
it.
something
New
to do.
Edition said it best. Let's slow it down.
I believe in the slow walk.
Thomas said, find you
Slow
something to
walk
do, God dog it. I ain't got
Yeah.
time for all this.
Goodbye.
Now,
And I think it's worse the older we get.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that patience gets
Our word
shorter.
is
yeah,
better.
I don't want it snail walked.
Right. No,
Yeah.
right. It's better
Not
the
a-
older we get. It's not. So when we're younger, we really don't know who we are, who they are, and what what our triggers are. We're in it because we went too fast. I'm talking from experience. We went too fast. We jumped in too fast. And then once we're in, it's like, I love you, but I don't like you.
And that's what
I
causes
love
you to
you,
stick around longer than you should.
but I don't like you. And that's a problem. So you
You
got
done
to
fell
find
in
somebody
love.
that you like, not just love. You got to find somebody that you like. I
Mhm.
like being around you. I like talking to you. I like laughing with you. I like, because love does this, right? The in
Come
love
on.
does this. But if I like you, then I still want you in my presence.
Yes,
Even when
yes,
we're
yes.
doing this on the in love portion.
That's so good to me. I
You
want to
better
run.
be possible.
Yeah,
That's
right.
good.
Ah, okay. Ray?
Now, I'm gonna let the grown folks minister to me. So I'm sitting here soaking it all in.
Wow.
That's funny.
Yeah, and Apostle Michelle, you've been quiet.
Well, I think just because I'm married.
Yeah, but okay, but what was the
But
process before then?
I was said, see how spicy she is? Isn't she spicy, boss?
Spicy.
Yeah, well,
She didn't take a
about
nap.
before.
She didn't
This
take
was
a
I
nap.
didn't take a nap today. My Sunday nap. That's anointed nap.
So I was older. I feel I was older when I got married. I got married when I was 41, 42. I had my first and only child at 35. I did everything late because I wanted to do things first to get things out of my system, travel, get my education, establish things for myself before I settled down and got married. When I did date, I felt like everything was always on speed. Like I didn't, by the time, like I was like Nancy, like I think I met a lot of representatives. And about 3-4 months in, I'm like, I don't like you. You know what I'm saying? I don't like what you do. I don't like what I'm seeing. I don't like what you're made of. And sometimes we try to see things by what they present, but they don't always present the things you need to see. So when I got older, I was in a relationship. I had my daughter at 35. I wasn't married. After I had her, a lot shifted. The game changed. The standards lifted. For real. Because I had such a great example of love and parental upbringing and attachment and all of that from my parents, I didn't want to settle down early and I didn't want to settle down quickly. I talked to the Lord. I sought the Lord about who and what. I was okay being by myself and not ever being married for the rest of my life. I was content with me. I was content with my daughter and raising her. So when met my husband, the last thing I was thinking of was a relationship. We met, he had been married before for a very long time, very great woman. And they had been together since their youth, I never thought that I would be married to someone who had been married before and had been married at length, nor did I sign up for this whole first lady, pastoral, church bearing, apostolic, mountain walking. I didn't sign up for none of that because I always thought my mouth and tongue was too sharp. Okay.
Oh man.
But the thing that changed for me was as I was getting older, because as women, we start looking at time. And we start looking at, well, I'm getting older and I don't have any kids, And I was listening to my mom say, well, all my friends have kids and they have grandkids. I don't have any grandkids. And I was like, well, Mom, they've had them since I was in high school. Like, I don't understand why you're so upset. You know what I'm saying? But
Shade don't care where it come from.
And we thank you for the shade.
As I got older, because I didn't want anyone that wasn't going to love my child like they were her own. I didn't want to be with anyone that didn't have the ability or the capacity to grow and change. Lives, people. Things change. How do you adapt to change? Can you adapt to change? The different circumstances of life that come up, can you hang? Like, I don't want no punk. Like, I can't be picking you up every time we leave the playground because life, you can't life, Like, I just had this standard and I would tell the father, he can't be broke. He can't be this. He can't be that. He can't be violent. He can't, you know what I'm saying? He has to have an ear to hear. He has to listen because I know I want to be heard because I want to hear as well. Like, I had a list You know what I'm saying? I had a list, and the top of the list was he had to love the Father for real, not the fake way, not the fake. I look like this in church, but I'm something else at home. No, authentic love. You had to have authentic touch, authentic baptism. I didn't want nothing fake because I'm a pastor's kid.
Mhm.
I'm a pastor's kid. I've seen the fake. I've seen it done well. I've seen the Emmy Awards and the Grammys. I've seen all of that.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
So I didn't want any of that. So my standards were very high. People will, call me bougie and this and that and the third. I'm like, well, that may very well be, but at the end of the day, if I'm going to commit and submit, it has to work for me. I'm very independent. I'm professional. I'm an engineer. I'm analytical by trade. You know what I'm saying? I know my strengths and I know what my strengths can do. So I had a different standard. You know what I'm saying? I needed somebody that could deal with all my parts, that could deal with my faith, that could deal with the strength I am as a Black woman, as a single mother, as a Black woman in a male dominated industry. I needed you to be able to deal with all of that. So that was my intention.
Mhm.
So I wasn't looking, though. I wasn't looking. In my mind, I was happy. I had this beautiful baby. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? That's all that really completed me at that point. Wasn't looking. So when I met Kevin, when I met Apostle Kevin, met my husband, he's a thug. He is street West Side. He is.
West Side.
So you got with Apostle Peter.
That's what I'm saying. And but I knew what I was getting. He was so upfront with me
But
about
he
everything.
loves the word.
He was so upfront about his past, about who he was. And then, we're blending a family because he had children, lost his first wife. It was a lot, but he was so honest with me that it was easy. We never had
Authentic.
problems within. It was
Right.
always outside.
Right.
That's it.
We understood. We had an understanding, and we were honest and open, and we could each deal with the good, the bad, the ugly.
Mhm.
Because that's the thing that I need people to understand. I don't care what a female or a male tells you. There's bad and ugly in there. It ain't all good.
Sure ain't. Come on
That's
here,
right.
Pastor Michelle.
It ain't all good. If they tell you that that's a demon, you need to run.
You say if they tell you they're a demon?
If they tell you that
Or
everything is
show you.
good, I don't got nothing going on. It is a lying spirit, okay?
Right. Okay.
Because everybody has to be healed in some area. We're all still growing. So when they tell you those lies, don't be desperate enough to believe it.
Mhm.
See it.
True.
That's not possible. Because if you are, then you shouldn't even be here breathing my air. You should
Uh-oh.
be in glory because it doesn't exist. And to me, I think that's the thing about purposeful intentions. You got to know what you're willing to bear up with.
Mhm.
You got to know what
Oh
you can
boy.
take.
Yeah.
You got to know what's good. If you date somebody and you know they got a history of being a cheater, then you better realize if I get with you, there's a potential that you're going to cheat if you're not delivered. Like, you got to know what you're getting into.
Up front.
Nancy, you said it says, I ain't here to fix or change nothing. I am not divine. Go on somewhere and be broke over there. Be broken
Yeah.
over there. I'm an intercessor. I'll pray. But my space, I've worked hard to get my peace.
Yeah. I come too far.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't subject it to just anything.
Yeah.
So I feel like I got very lucky. Now, on the flip side, because of who I married, I always gotta be ready to roll. I always gotta be ready to pull up. I always gotta be prepared. You know what I'm saying? I know who I married. You understand what I'm saying? He's a no nonsense. He doesn't play games. You know, and so I gotta be able to walk with that. You know what I'm saying? I gotta be ready. But it's blessed. It's real.
Mhm.
It's honest.
This is
Authentic.
good.
And he don't hide it from nobody.
Mhm.
It's who he is. I'm who I am. So you want somebody that you mix. with. That iron sharpens iron. We think
There
that's
it is.
about friends. No, I
Yeah.
need his iron to sharpen mine and mine to sharpen his. And baby, I got you. If you need bail, I got bail. You know what I'm saying? If you need me to come get you out, I'll come get you out. We have to be real.
What?
Yes, yes.
I'm sorry.
Yes,
Did I go too
yes.
far? I
No.
apologize.
No.
I
Be
love it.
real.
I
You
love
know
it.
what?
Get your suit
I
ready.
love it.
Get your suit ready.
Apostle Michelle, you just said something that reminded me of last night. Now, this is a little bit off the rails.
That's
But
okay.
I went to see Cheryl Underwood last night, right? And
Mhm.
she was hilarious, by the way. Now, if you can't take the spicy words, don't go. But anyway,
Spicy.
she said she was talking about y'all. I'm not going political, I promise you. It's just funny what she said. She said she was like, I could tell how Melania is not for Donnie. She said this man went to court for 34 felonies. She said you didn't see him not one time. She said, but Rihanna was in court every day.
Faithfully.
What we call it? What's her name? Megan Good was in court every day with Jonathan Major. She's like, you could tell the difference when a woman is for a man and a woman just using a man. I was like, I didn't even think about it like that, but it's true.
Show
I was
up.
like, and so when Apostle Michelle just said she could show up with the bell, that made me think about that. That was hilarious. I appreciate
Yeah.
that. Thank
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
truth. 'Cause I didn't
It's the
marry
truth,
the
though.
apostle and the overseer. I married
you.
Kevin.
Right, the man. Right.
Absolutely. I
Right.
know how to separate the difference. I don't hold him at a different standard because of who he is in the eternal.
Right. Right. And that's
I hold
key.
him to being Kevin, and I expect Kevin.
That's key. That's key right there. That's why I tell people I don't date women at my church. I need to see you outside the church because I need to see the human. I don't want to see,
The divine.
sis running around with her
Representative
shoes off
Nancy
and
said.
I need to see you without them lashes. I need to see you just at the house chilling, whatever it is, or not necessarily
With
the
your
house,
hair
but
off.
just anything. I just need to see the person. I don't need to see the spiritual you because when you come out of the spirit, I still want to be able to say, okay, God, I still want to hit that. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It's true.
Father, help
I'm
us.
just saying. But yeah, go ahead.
Oh gosh, I need to put on the disclaimer.
No. Y'all want to say it. Y'all just don't say it. Y'all want to say it though.
The title alone should excuse anything that comes forth. You gotta know by the title anything is possible.
Right. This ain't NC-17, but the truth
I
is
think I
you
need
want to
to
be
go on.
compatible in all areas, not just one area.
Yes,
That's
sir.
true.
Areas.
That's true.
That is true too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
My
true.
yoke got to be equal.
Yeah.
You got to know what
It has
to
to be a
be.
balance.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
got to know what is to be supplemental. They're going to add to you,
Right.
and when they're going to be compatible.
Right.
You know, like
right.
everything is not going to be necessarily compatible, but it's even if it's not supplemental, it's doable.
It's
You know what I mean?
comparable.
Like,
Yeah.
so it's those three:
Yeah.
compatible, and it might be it's not compatible, but it's doable,
Right.
and then it's supplemental. You're going to add to me. That's what this help
Yep.
meet
Yep.
is about. You know,
Yep.
help meet.
Yeah.
Help us meet. You know, our potential, our purpose. I'm going to help you, and you're going to help me. We got each other. We got each other covered. I don't want to say back for whatever, but we have each other covered intentionally,
That's it.
purposefully.
You know, like Pastor Michelle said, you have one another's bell.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Because I support and I build with Kevin. I cover Apostle.
Right.
Right.
So if
It's
they say,
different.
"Where's the body?" You say, "I don't know."
I
What
don't
body?
know.
What body?
Right.
Talk about.
He's
Him
not
and them
here.
dogs
Right.
we got are
Right.
gonna make sure that it's buried deep and well.
Right. What did you seek is not here.
Right.
Look and see.
Right.
He ain't here.
That's it.
He ain't here.
He ain't
I
here.
watched all the episodes of CSI.
I watch too much of the ID channel.
Okay, we have resources in this group.
Right.
That's right.
Oh, y'all too much. Let's go on. Yeah.
She doesn't even know where we at.
No, I just happened to see you guys in a private chat. I didn't even see.
It's all good.
It's good.
It's
Okay.
We got it worked out.
Yeah.
Stop chatting. Okay. What are some of the long-term intentions you have for your relationships, and how do you align them with your values?
My long term for me in a relationship is to get to the finish line of seeing Jesus and saying, "Look, I took care of your daughter. I took care of your joint heir. Give her back to God. I took care of your joint heir.
Yep.
Let me add this to my crown." That's my long term when it comes to my relationships. Whether it be a love relationship with my children. I said it to Daryl Jr. last week, and I've always said this to them. I'm not raising you to be a Columbus, Georgia citizen. I'm raising you to be a global citizen, a
Right.
responsible adult, and a global citizen. You're not here to just partake in the local economy. And I want you to partake in the world's economy. And I want you to leave your imprint. And I want you to leave your mark and help people out. So that's what my intentions are when it comes to any of my relationships.
Yeah.
I want to hear him
That's
say, "Well done,
Well done. I
Yeah.
thy
need my crown,
good
brother.
and faithful servant.
'Cause
Enter in."
I went through
Yes.
it.
That's what I want to hear. "Well done, thy good and faithful servant.
Servant.
Enter in." That's the goal.
Emphasis on servant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Emphasis
That's
on
the goal.
servant.
That's the goal.
He's not gonna say pastor. He's not gonna
Nope.
say teacher.
Nope.
He's
Yes.
not gonna say apostle. He's
None of
not
that.
gonna say brother in Christ. He
Nope.
wants to know if we serve his
If
people
we
while we were here.
served,
Yeah.
Yeah.
if we
Yeah.
served, and that's
Yep.
what I want to hear.
Yep.
Well done, that good and faithful servant. I mean,
Yes.
we have to remember that the person that we are with, as Darryl said, they are a son and daughter of the Most High,
Yep.
and He's going to hold us responsible for
Yep.
how we treat them.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's better to let them go if we can't treat them right.
Right.
It's better to let them go if we can't treat them right, if we can't honor them, if we can't respect them. Let them go. If it's
We
not
can't be
in
their
you or if
keeper.
it's not coming from them, thank you.
Yeah.
Right.
If we can't be their keeper, let them go be kept
Right.
somewhere with someone who can keep them.
And will.
And
Right.
well,
Yep.
I've done it before. I've let somebody go and said, "No, you too much for me." I've. She was too. God dog it. Well, go ahead, y'all. We're not talking about me.
Repeat the question, Sherry.
What are some of the long-term intentions you have for your relationships, and how do you align them with your values?
Oh, okay, so I'm not going all the way to glory with y'all because I would have fainted if I hadn't seen the goodness of the Lord
Come
down
on.
here. Okay, so I'm going to talk about down here. I want to grow with somebody, both spiritually and naturally. I want to rub on his shoulder and show him what I like, and vice versa. I want to change his mind about, oh, I'm
Hold on, let
allergic
me
to
put
that.
on a disclaimer. Hold on.
No.
I'm teasing. Go ahead.
No, I want to grow with somebody. I want to be a better person because of him, and vice versa. I want to travel. I want to show him where I've been and where, some people, I have friends that haven't seen outside the county line of Jackson,
Yep.
Mississippi.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That
Yep.
they're my age. They've never been anywhere. They don't
Yep.
know anything about another culture or nothing. I'm a travel bug. I love to travel and go just to see how other people live, what their food tastes like, what their city looks like. I want somebody that's adventurous like that. I'm not saying that we have to do that all the time, but I at least want somebody that wants to do that. I want to introduce him to the God that's in me. I want him to know why I absolutely lose my mind and go broke for God. I
Yeah.
got there for a reason. I want to introduce him to, because me and his relationship with God may not be like my relationship. How y'all get that close? What happened? Well, let me tell you how I got.
yeah.
I want that,
Right.
because
Right.
that's intimacy to me.
Yes.
When you can share all of that, when you can, oh, I don't really eat that. Yeah, but you ain't had my sweet potato pie. Just try it. And then when he bites it, I got to make one every week. I want that.
Come
We're
Come
on.
on,
going to
sweet
talk about
potato
it.
pie.
Let's
Yeah.
talk about it. You know what I
Potatoes.
mean? I want that kind of relationship. Whoever he's missing out because you know what I'm saying? I'm real, and I'm ready to share all of this real. But I get
The pie.
superficial.
Cakes and pies. Cakes and pies.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, I'm a baker. I love to
And
bake.
pies.
I love to be. I want a reason to cook again. You know,
Yeah.
I told my family that I'm retired. I was the cook in my family. You know, I
Yeah.
watched my mom cook, and me and my brother Melvin, we became the best cooks in the family. But I retired, and I said, Lord, I'll come out of it. I feed myself, but I'm talking about cook. I want to cook for my king.
Come
Yeah.
I
on
want to bring
here.
him his plate.
Come
Come on.
on.
Yes.
You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Come on now.
I want him to take the first bite and say, "Girl, what did you know?"
Ooh,
I want that.
You
Right.
want
That's
him to get
before
his
glory.
thing.
yes.
That's before eternity.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
thinking in here. You know,
right. Well, Nancy, we thinking here too, but we just thought,
that's
we all
beautiful.
went
That's
together.
beautiful. That's
Meat
beautiful.
pies and back
But
rub.
I was
Oh,
answering the
God.
question.
I got you.
That's a good. You see, I'm caught up in the second heaven, not quite where Pastor Darrell is, and not quite
Me
where Nancy
too.
is. I'm in the second tier right there.
Yeah.
I want to finish well, but I also want the daily, the growing,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
the mixing, the mingling, experience new things together. I'm at a point in my life and I want to start traveling more. My kids are getting older and I'm
Yeah.
stuck in school and I can't go anywhere anymore. But somebody who can do those things, somebody, like you said, somebody talk about your journey, how you came connected with Yah, and we can grow right there. We can grow from there, continue to grow and continue to see his goodness, so that's my purposeful intention. It's growth, it's support, and going back to what Pastor mentioned, you ready to throw down? You got to be right there with me. I got the bail money, right? And yes, and if we need to hide somebody, I call my brother, and we know how to do that together. That's my role. So yeah, right. Yeah.
You gotta have a plan, right?
We that plan. We got some plans. We got some plans. Those plans are so top secret.
Yes.
Yeah.
Only the Lord knows the plans.
That's right. That's right.
Y'all gonna have people thinking we out here plotting on people.
I'm having brain fog. But who's Tony Evans' daughter? The what's her name?
Priscilla.
Amazing.
Priscilla.
Priscilla Shire.
Yeah.
Yes. I want to meet her.
I do too. I want her to mentor me.
Yes.
She's amazing.
Absolutely.
But I like her. I like her realness.
I do too.
She said, if I'm gonna roll with you for as long as I know that you roll with me. But if I find out,
Yes, she said, if I find out that
she
you've
put
been
some
plotting
earrings
on
off.
me.
If I find out, you know what I mean? Because that's real.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's
She
purposeful
tell us.
intention.
Yeah,
It's
she
purposeful.
That's
told us
perfect.
story.
That's it. That's it.
She told a story in one of her messages. I mean, rolling to this. I'm not going to get into it because I can't tell like how she tells it, but it had me still rolling every time I listen to her. Just all I hear is that story that she told about her life.
Yeah.
Rolling.
Me too.
Yeah, it does. And it's the truth.
Wow. Yeah, all violent.
Whew.
God ain't pleased.
Anyway, yeah. Let's go to the next question, Sister Minister Sherry, host.
Next.
Okay, we're going on to the next question. What was the next question? How do you ensure that your actions in your relationship reflect your purposeful intentions? So how do you ensure that your actions in that relationship reflect your purposeful intentions?
This is where a lot of the representative lose it right here, because everybody knows a leopard can't change its stripes or spots. Tigers can't change their stripes. Either your actions are going to be, every time this person comes to you, they're going to say, I knew you would be doing this right here. The sum, what that question you just asked, will lead to what will lead people to believe that that the person that they're dealing with is boring. But it's one thing about a person that's methodical, that's the person that's consistent. You know what you got every time. Anybody who know me know Daryl gonna be one of three places. I'm gonna be at home, I'm gonna be at that job, or I'm gonna be outside on my way to church, or just walking around outside. You're not gonna catch me too many places. I have people in my life complain, "Oh, you don't never go anywhere." I pay good rent to be in this house that I'm in. I pay Duke Energy great money to flip this light switch on to use these lights. So you can say what you want to say. Anytime my children see my location, they're gonna see me either in Indiana, Ohio, West Virginia, Virginia, or North Carolina, because that's my route. Or they're gonna see me in North Carolina at my address, moving around. That is it. My actions are gonna line up with who I say that I am, and it's gonna show you who I am every time. Now you may not like it, and I don't. Yes, people ask me, "Are you spontaneous?" Yes, I am. I just need 2 weeks to plan for it. However, I'm gonna be who I say I am, and I'm gonna do what I say I am. Who you see online is who you see in person. I'm me. That's it.
I believe that.
It's good.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I see you.
We see you. Yeah, we do. Who's
Yeah.
next?
I think if you have real, true, bona fide, going back to something that Pastor Michelle said, whether good or bad, that's how you're going to flow, right? No matter, what you came in with, that's how you're going to act. That's how you're going to proceed, right? So if you came in to deceive, you're going to deceive. If you came in to stand strong, you're going to stand strong. And I think it just plays out in everything that you do. Depending on how you walk in a situation with, that is going to play out.
Mm-hmm.
Should be second nature to you. I shouldn't, if something happens, I shouldn't have to run and say, okay, how am I expected to respond to this because I'm trying to please somebody, right? It should just be second nature. Whatever comes up has to be real. It has to be authentic. I'm not putting somebody else on. Yeah. I am who I am. This is authentically me. I don't have to read a manual to try to be, oh, what did they say I'm supposed to do today? Oh, day 10 do. No, nope. It's me. My actions are genuine because it's my purpose. And I'm purposeful in my intention towards you. It makes it easier when it's just you. Whatever comes up, that's you. Yeah. No ears, no mask, none of that. This is who I am. Love me for me.
Yeah.
And sometimes when we are in ministry, people love the ministry part of you, and they don't love you, right? They'll I'll use Nancy for an example. They'll use her because they'll love her because she can sing, and they would try to treat her as a trophy. This is my wife that sings. No, get to know Nancy the person.
Right.
The sweet potato pie baker.
The potato pie, the one that's gonna make the potato pie, the one
that one. That one.
Not the psalmist. Not the minister.
Mm-hmm.
And that's I've had that issue, where people want that person that they see, whether I was playing the drums, directing the choir, leading the praise and worship team, they want that person.
They do.
But Tommy, they never even get to meet Tommy because they stuck up here. Now come talk to Tommy.
Yeah.
Talk to Tommy.
Yeah. See, that's why I won't eat with certain people. I've always been a leader, so I didn't do a whole lot of like everybody couldn't come to my house. I didn't do it. There was a certain group of people that I would go eat with, but not everybody because they wanted me to keep my hat on. And I love to laugh. I love to have a good time. Nobody can beat me having a good time, and it's good, clean fun. But I don't like getting. Oh, I didn't even know you were like. I didn't know you. Oh, you laugh. Oh, I don't like that. But I want to answer your question by saying I want to be somebody, and not just in a romantic relationship, but even my mom and my children. I don't want to embarrass nobody. Right. I don't want to act unseemly. And, other than when I'm in front, when I'm teaching music, I become a different person then, totally different person. And I've been called Joe Jackson, all of those things. I just like perfection, right? I like excellence. And so you will see somebody totally different. Huh?
Dr. Matty Moss. Did you throw
I've been
your
called
shoe?
that too, but I've never hit nobody with a shoe or anything like that. But I just,
I've been
you know,
accused of throwing
I just,
shoes,
it's
but
just
I don't think I
excellence.
did.
You know, I'm a stickler for excellence. But you know, my children have done this in rehearsals. You know, like, Mom, I can't believe you said that. But you know, but other than that, I just want to be somebody that my mom can be proud of because she didn't raise me like that. Like sometimes my grown kids might do something that makes me want to get them. And, you know, as a mom, I know, you know, they're grown, but I'm, you know, one of my daughters, she's very quiet and she keeps this on her face. So she's misunderstood. And so I told her, baby, you're going to have to soften that brow and speak. You know, you because you're misunderstood, it's drawn you into something. And so every now and then and she doesn't like it. I know she doesn't like it because it probably makes her feel young. But I say, did you speak? You know, somebody come. I always believe when you enter a room, the burden is on you to speak. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? That's just me. If I come in your house and I walk past you, something is like you have a right to say, you know, what's up? You know, that's just common politeness. But I don't ever want to do anything that's going to embarrass my mate. If we're at a restaurant or a family gathering and he does something, I'm not going to go down. It's not going down in front of everybody. It can wait. You know what I mean? There's a time for everything. And I see women demean men with their oh, he know. Ask him. A man is turned off by that. If he's not, he should be. There's a time and a place for all
Yes.
that. So my relationships, I want to show up and not be somebody that they're embarrassed by.
Very good.
That's good.
Yeah.
And you make sweet potato pies too?
And I make sweet.
Sweet potato pies and back rubs, though. We need the back rubs.
She needs a massage.
Patty ain't got nothing on her.
I'm
Oh
telling
no.
you, a woman made
She
me a
really
sweet potato
don't.
pie
I'm
one time.
insulted.
A woman made me a sweet potato pie one time, and I still taste it. So I'm telling you, it was that sweet potato pie was.
Just banging.
Oh my, she was too. But yeah, we're not talking about me. We're talking about the pie. We don't have to-
Daryl
me
is
see
the one that needs
Let
the
me see if I
disclaimer.
can
I do.
pull it
I
back
do the
in.
disclaimer.
See if I can pull it back in.
You're good. Joking.
I
right,
was
guys.
something that Nancy said. I wanted to answer the question, but it was something that you said that I wanted to comment on because I'm not separate from who I am in the Father. I am Michelle first, servant of the King, daughter of Jim and Jacqueline. I'm Michelle who is an apostle. I'm Michelle who is a worshiper. I'm Michelle who is an intercessor. I'm never separate from who I am because I am one with the King. So I'm one with everything that he made me. What people do is they compartmentalize us and they separate us, right? So they never get to see us. I'm sorry if y'all hear the dogs. They never get to see me in the oneness that I am. You choose to see me in these places. You choose to only see me as an apostle. So when Michelle, who is an apostle, shows up,
Shows up.
you're shocked because she has come out. Well, she's always there. She's always there. That's just what you choose to see.
Yeah.
That's who you choose to see me as in that moment. But to answer the question, and I just want to do this quickly, I just wanted to say that because I'm never separate. Nancy's never separate from the worshiper. She's never separate from who she is. None of us are. We are all of that together. Communication is the longest term thing that is a must for me from beginning to end. Because I am a communicator and communication keeps a lot of warfare down, keeps a lot of problems down, and communication and honesty.
Right.
Communication and honesty. They should be the ultimate goals in any relationship, anywhere, at any age. They transcend time. Those are tools that transcend time. Because if once I stop communicating, that's when you're going to start having problems ensue.
Yeah, that's when you worry. Yeah.
When I don't want to talk to you, Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
When I
Mm.
don't want to communicate with you,
Yes, yes.
something has happened that shifted
That
my
shifted.
whole being.
You
And
Mm-hmm.
there is,
shifted.
once I've shifted, it's
Mhm.
no return.
No
It's over
Yes.
return.
for you, baby.
Yep.
It's
Once
not
I
a return.
shift.
It's because if I had to move my posture and position with you, then I had to release you.
Yep.
I still love you. I'll still be cordial, all of that. But when I feel like we can't communicate anymore,
Mhm.
when I feel like even if I stepped to you and asked you, you wouldn't be honest,
Mhm.
I have to release you from my space because
From my
that's
shalom.
that's peace. Yes. And my peace, and my brother preached this one time. I don't even know if you preached it or you said it. You know, you float on water, so I'm not really sure where it took place, Tommy. But he said that shalom is the absence of chaos.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do chaos. Chaos will make me bury bodies. I don't
Yes.
do it.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't do it. Okay? I cannot because that's not the Father's intent or purpose for me.
Right.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
communication, the honesty, I've never seen so many, and I really find it in the church, but it happens other places, but it's prevalent in the church, is that don't nobody want to pull out nothing. Don't nobody want to. We're not going to just talk about that thing that just happened. We're not going to talk about what we
Right.
just saw. We're
Right.
not going to talk about the manifestation and that. We're not going to do that. We're just going to sit here and act like we ain't see it. And
Mm-hmm.
we're going to let it grow and fester. We're going to act
Nope.
like it didn't happen.
Gotta
We're going
confront
to
it.
just sing over it. We're going to praise over it. We're going to say, that's not authentic. That's not
It's
real.
not authentic.
So,
It's
So
not authentic. That hit a nerve.
it's communication.
Ugh,
And he
it's
gave
not
us his
authentic.
devoir, he gave us his word to communicate. If he created the framing of the world by speech,
Right.
and
Mm-hmm.
speech
Right.
is pretty important.
it's very,
Right.
very important.
Words are important. My God.
Learn how to
Hey,
hear seasoned.
I'm
we're
trying to
We
gonna
act
move.
talk.
right.
But
We're gonna.
the communication, I can't walk around blind like this stuff's not happening and we not seeing it. That's not my space. That's not my space because that's the stuff that becomes monstrous. That turns into two-headed
Woo!
spirit and all of that. I can't do it. And that's not his design for us.
Help, Lord. Just help God.
So if I don't have communication in my marriage, in my long-term relationships, with my spiritual children, but most important, with the eternal. If I don't talk to him, I'm not going to talk to you.
Listen.
If I don't talk to him, you don't want me to talk to you.
You don't want me to talk to you. Come on,
That's
brother.
right.
So that
It's
communication and
everything.
honesty, it is. It
It's
is.
everything.
We're not gonna walk around here acting like, it's raindrops and lemon drops. Oh, what a day that'll be. We're not Barney. We're not doing this. I just, to me, that is a very important tool in every relationship that I have. If I can't talk to you and I can't communicate with you and you can't do it back to me, that why are we in a relationship?
Right.
What type is it? What is
Why?
it?
Right.
Why?
Respectful
What is this?
communication. Yeah.
Guys, we have like 15 more minutes left in this episode, and we have more questions. So I'm going to go on to the next one. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
All
do it.
right. Have you ever faced challenges or setbacks in your relationship that made you question your own intentions? And how did you overcome them?
Say that one more again.
Hmm. Have you ever faced challenges or setbacks in your relationship that made you question your intentions? And how did you overcome them?
Mm.
I don't know if I ever faced something where questioning my intentions,
Mm-hmm.
but the intentions of others, yes. But when you come with a pure mindset and a pure spirit, um, and you know that's what you're doing, you're not being manipulative, you're not being cunning. There's no question of your intentions. You already know I'm being authentic. So, you know,
Right.
Yeah, I'd agree. I don't question I question the others when I begin to see stuff.
right.
When things begin to unveil themselves, right? That's when I question that's not what was communicated, and now I'm seeing something different. So that leads me to question what's their intention.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Hello?
Oh,
Yes.
We're here.
Here.
I didn't hear that noise anymore. Maybe we were disconnected. All right. Anybody else want to go with that question?
now let's get them other ones in.
hmm What strategies do you use to remain focused on your intentions when distractions arise in your dating life?
Oh gosh.
I wish I had one to talk about, but I don't have a dating life. If I was in a dating life, strategies that I use to what? Say the second part again, Sherry. Brain fog.
Oh, I'm sorry. What strategies do you use to focus on your intentions when distractions arise in your dating life?
I don't know if it's necessarily a strategy. I'm just gonna be myself. I'm just going to go into it with the intention of presenting who I really am and offering the best of me, whatever that looks like in whatever relationship. That's with friendships too. And to be honest, if you know if we clash and there's something that I absolutely like Tom said, there's some stuff that's going to come up because nobody is perfect and we're all different creatures. We're not the same,
Mm-hmm.
especially men and women. We're just not the same. You know, we don't approach things the same. You know, that's why I think any relationship between a man and woman that's going to work, it's got to be some give and take in there. Because if you want me to show up as Wonder Woman, you know, I might appear in some instances, but yeah, I have some areas. That's what you're for. That's why
Right.
I need you to be there for me to build me up, and vice versa. I want to be there and say, because some women don't like men that cry. If you can't cry, I can't do you. Because I think that's a strength. You know
Right.
what I mean? It's a strength to cry.
Right.
Who goes through life and don't have nothing to shed tears about? It's cleansing. We should cry.
Right.
And so yeah, I'm probably all over the place, but I don't think I use strategies. I just go in as like the first thing I said, just go in as myself and hoping that you see me, that you see the real me, and
Mhm.
that's who you're interested in. Of course, certain things, being attracted to somebody, I think opposites attract. My list has gone from this to this because half of what was on that list wasn't real.
Mhm.
It just wasn't. And so, yeah, he don't have to be light skinned and curly haired. I don't even
What?
trust light skinned men. I'm joking. For
They
the
played
light
out when
skinned
they
men that might
they
be
played
watching,
out
I'm
when
just
they
joking.
prayed.
I had to edit my list too, so I get it. So
Yeah, pretty guys. You're in the mirror longer than me. But yeah, that's my answer.
I had to edit my list too, Nancy. So don't worry about it. Some of this stuff y'all be wearing me down with. I'm like, all right, yeah, let's go ahead. Certain things I know I can't avoid, so I don't even argue about no more.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
I'm going to ask one more question as we go out, and then I want each of you to close out with your own personal growth, if that makes sense. Something that you can share with the audience to help them. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right. In what ways have your purposeful intentions in your relationship evolved over the years?
Hmm. Oh well, for me, Daryl, over the years, I have become less selfish. Um, have spent a great deal of time by myself, so it's very easy for me to be kind of self-sufficient, so to speak, or like try to depend on myself and things like that. Now, I always thought that one of my love languages was acts of service because I live an itinerant lifestyle. And so if I need stuff done at home or in my city, or if I'm trying to do something, then I need people to, run those errands for me or whatever the case may be. But in return, I wouldn't want to speak another person's love language at times. So now I make it my business to find out. I'll try to learn my person as best I could from the beginning so that I can willfully tell myself, okay, that this is what this person likes. So do what you need to do to make sure you take care of that person in that area. But over the years, I have learned to be less selfish in a variety of ways. I'm still learning how to be less selfish with my emotions. I ain't got no problem giving you my money. I ain't got no problem with giving you even some of my time. My emotions were always the thing that I held hostage when it came to the opposite sex and relationships and I know it came from my emotions being trampled upon in the past, but I've learned how to relinquish, other parts of me and not I don't know who said this the other day, but not put up a wall, but put up a fence. You can still peek through that fence. You could even climb over the fence if you are swift and strong enough. But there's a gate I can let you in and out versus you trying to tear a wall down. So that's where I am. That's how I've grown to get to this point of this year. I want to be able to. I want to find one of y'all who, fine with. Anyway, I want to be married. Not necessarily this year, but I want to be on the road to marriage this year. So there we go.
Awesome. Awesome. Anyone else?
I think one of the things I've learned, one of the things that I've grown to learn is that everybody doesn't deserve everything. Everyone, I love everybody. And you have to do some things that are pretty foul for me, not for my space and my love and my like for you to change. I'm still learning how to work through that because I'm built to love. I just love people. I want the best for people. I'll do whatever I can for people, and I'll help. And I have over the years gotten beat up by the Most High, really recently, because I always drop what He's telling me to do to help somebody else, to build somebody else, to be there for somebody else, and he said, you've got to learn how to pick and choose who to help and who's going to drain, who would not turn around and do the same in return, where it's not reciprocated. It's a number of things, but it was my choice. It was my choice. Even when I see the hand, in the end, I still can't help who I was. And I told the Father, I said, I don't want this love that I have for people to change, but teach me how to use it. Teach me when to help and how. Teach me who really wants it and who's just coming to distract. Everything has a purpose and an intent. And that's been hard for me, but I'm telling you, I'm on the low side. I'm on the side of deliverance. I'm on the side of shalom. Because once I had to the Father reasoned with me. That's how I'll put it nicely. And what He said was, do you want to get before me and tell me why you couldn't do all this stuff I gave you to do? Because you went and helped somebody else that I never sent you
to. Yes.
Okay. So it's hard for me. I had to shift. He's like, what I put in you is genuine. He said, the love and the help you have is genuine, but it's intentional.
And it ain't for everybody.
It ain't for everybody. And I'm still breaking off the bad habit of that, because that's just who I am. I see it. I want to help, not fix, because I'm not divine.
Right.
Yes.
But help. You know what I'm saying? But I've had to learn that it can be a distraction of the enemy.
It's true.
To keep me from going where I'm going. So I've had to learn how to love right.
I feel like screaming.
Right, with wisdom.
Apostle Keith Sweat said that there's a right and a wrong way to love somebody.
I don't
So
even trust you, Sweat.
that's what I've learned, and I've still learned because I've been this way my whole life. That's the stuff we don't like to say. Some of the ways that we've been this way our whole life,
Right.
and I'm learning to adjust and ask the Father before I'm moving. Because I listen, you say,
Oh,
you
Lord, have
yell,
mercy.
I'm coming. You know what I'm saying? I would never even stop, pause to think. I was just like, somebody needs help. There's an SOS. I'm gone. Not realizing it could be a trap, a setup,
Right. Right.
So
Right.
that I'm working on. I still want to help, but I'm learning that.
Use
Y'all pray.
discernment.
Yeah,
Use
y'all pray
discernment.
for me. Okay, y'all pray. Because
I
I
have
Use-
just,
nothing to throw at you, Michelle. I'm looking around, trying to find something that won't hurt.
you can call me on the phone. On the phone,
Oh,
you can call
I
to the phone.
you really blessed me in a spot, but I'm gonna wait until we go backstage to tell you. Yeah.
That's all I wanted to say on that question, Pastor Sherry LaVon Harris.
Yeah, hilarious. Do you guys need me to repeat the question?
She did good. We could just move on.
I think we move on.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we can close. We can actually close out then. Before we do that, Daryl, what's your show about tonight?
I'm gonna be doing a mini rant about what's happening in the world in the United States right now.
And how can people watch your live tonight?
Facebook and YouTube, The Daryl Show, at The Daryl Show, talking with some sense.
What time, Daryl?
9 p.m. Eastern on the dot.
Da-da-da.
That theme music gonna go off at 9. It's gonna start at 9 o'clock on the dot.
All right.
Yeah.
Great. Guys, we're going to continue on with this series, and we're going to have a guest that's going to close us out. And here she is. Michelle Gerald is going to close us out with the singles edition. So we're going to spill this over until next week. And I talked to this young lady on the phone, and it's going to be raw and real. She's not holding back.
Awesome.
Right.
Hold on now. Let's just give Pastor Sherry some When did you start doing that? I ain't never seen that before. Somebody been practicing with their software. What is going on?
She's experimenting in
Somebody
background.
been practicing with software. Did y'all see
Let me
that?
tell you,
That was dope.
See this
Daryl
before?
had me stressed for the last 4 days.
Coming up. I love it.
Somebody done figured some things out. Look at that.
Yeah, I'm trying to work it out.
About time.
Yeah. Yes, we have a comment before we go off. Let me see. We love you too. Thank you so much for joining us.
I love you right
Guys,
back.
make sure
Love you too.
Love you, Quinn.
share. We love you. We got to have you on, Quint. You got to join us one of these panels or just the two of us. So let's talk about that.
We're going to tune in heavy for that one.
Yeah. So guys, this has been great. We're going to go back in the back. Don't leave. Thank you. Remember,
Pastor Sherry,
yes.
can I say one thing?
Yes.
Stop grieving what was dead and done before it left.
God, dog it. Well, you should just hit the end button right there. Just God almighty.
Whew. Whoa.
Mm.
That was deep.
Wow. That's it.
I don't even need to say my spiel at the end. See y'all next week. You guys have a good week, and that's it. Good night,
Bye,
everyone.
everybody.
Hello.
Not everyone.
Join us again next week for another riveting, informative segment of His Will for Your Life podcast with Sherry and our special guest.